Let me tell you, my dear, nowadays there are various colleges in our country, throughout the world, that where art, architecture and design is like a mainstream study. You can overcome the challenge of being self-disciplined by reading good books, by following a daily schedule, by fixing your goal. These three things actually gives you the actual budgeting skill and the mathematical calculations and all. Hello. Today I am going to discuss about aspiring interior designer. What are the challenges in their life, starting from their very childhood. There are a lot of problems you are facing. If you are creative, if you are passionate about your design, maybe you are confused. So you have lot of challenges and lot of problem. So I am going to discuss about 6 major challenges which you might face. Any of this or maybe multiple challenges you are facing to become an interior designer. Okay, so let us start with that. This is architect Shomali J. Sinha, an author, entrepreneur and academician, and I'm happy to share my 25 years of experience. I'm working in a mission to transform 10,000 creative people's creative minds, to help them transform their creativity from their passion into their profession. So I hope that I will be able to do that. So let me just give you all those 6 challenges and let me try to solve those problems for you. Okay. The challenge number 1, whatever I feel, yes, there are a lot of other challenges like proper knowledge, skill, environment, lot of things are there. But the first challenge and the main challenge which if you can overcome, that becomes the maximum, helping for that is your self-belief. Okay. Now, self-belief is something that which is somehow it is related to our environment also, the environment where we live, the environment where we grow up. Because I have seen in my life also, and I have seen in lot of other people's life, in our childhood, we are very much encouraged to participate in so many art competitions, drawing competitions, and our parents, our beloved one, they take us to various competitions and they boost us up that even if you do not become first in each and every competition, but you should participate. Now that is because of maybe I am talented, maybe I am good at drawing. But later on, what happens when the day comes to decide upon your career, when we are class 8, 9, 10 onwards, or maybe 11 or 12, we are getting lot of suggestions from our parents and from our other relatives and friends. Everybody suggests us to go for either you take science or arts or commerce, or you become engineer or you become doctor. But nobody tells us or give us that mentality to grow as an artist, to grow as a designer, or maybe transforming my design passion or creativity into new art, the technology, doing those things with technologies so that we can do some interior design, fashion design, graphic design, game design. There are lots of design studies available in the market, but there we are scared, and our belief get destroyed. Our belief, we do not believe ourselves that whether we will be able to succeed, we will be able to earn sufficient survival money out of my design passion, right? The second challenge becomes about the academic qualification. Now, as we are creative and we are passionate, maybe sometimes it happens that our school result, our college level results are not, we become in the average. Maybe we are not the first girl in the class or first boy in the class, but we become average because our passion is not studying history or chemistry or biology, but our passion is drawing, painting and all. Now, I am not saying that who is good at drawing, they cannot be the first girl or the best one in the class. Yes, of course, but majority we are in the average, and that also decreases our level of confidence that whether we will be able to academically sound with this kind of studies or not. But let me tell you, my dear, nowadays there are various colleges in our country, throughout the world, that where art, architecture and design is like a mainstream study. So you can also do mainstream study using those those creative ability and design ability. Okay, there are a lot of applied arts, there are a lot of fine arts, and there are a lot of other design field, architecture field. So if you are guided properly, you can pursue your career based on your academic background. You can go for a design career. Okay, the third challenge is the self discipline. People actually, they should have three things. Number one, they should have a clear goal, that what they want to do, number one. And number two is that towards that goal or towards that target, they should have a plan to follow that. And to follow that plan, you need to do a lot of hard work. You need to do a lot of practice. Specifically, if it is a design field, you need to do a lot of practice. And there are step-by-step methodology which you need to follow. And to follow that, you have to have discipline in your life. Like, you should wake up in the morning, very early morning, and then you break up all your day schedule in 1 hour to 90 minutes schedule. Like that, we call a breakup of daily schedule. And those daily schedule, you have to align with your goal. And all of your goal can be financial goal can be income goal. See, I have learned from Tony Robbins training, intensive training in Singapore for 50 hours, 50 long hours. I have gone through a training for Unleash Your Power Within. So similarly, if you want to unleash your creativity within, you have to do lot of hard work, lot of practices, lot of gathering of knowledges and all. So you can overcome the challenge of being self-disciplined by reading good books, by following a daily schedule, by fixing your goal, and also by following a step-by-step method. Okay, so that was the challenge number 3. The challenge number 4 itself, as I mentioned, that even if you have a target, even if you have a goal, even if you have a schedule, daily schedule aligned towards your goal, but you need to have a solid concrete plan in your hand, or a step-by-step guide, which normally that is a challenge for us. Most of the design aspirants, we do not know that we may have a very big dream, but we may not know that how to fulfill that dream. What should be the step 1 towards that dream, towards that success, or maybe step 2, step 3, step 4, like that. So there is a requirement of step-by-step guide, which is difficult to get in this current scenario, because nothing is matching with the traditional methodology, nothing is matching with the traditional study methods, traditional design method, traditional requirement for design. So everything has been changed. So that's the biggest challenge. So the next big challenge, the challenge number 5, is the plan and the process. After this plan and the process, we need to have 100 plus skills, in our life to become successful. Whether you pursue a career in design or anything else, whether it is interior design, fashion design, jewelry design, graphic design, any kind of design field, if you're creative, definitely you are not planning for a career which is not related to design. So definitely, if you want to follow a design oriented career, then there are some more challenges, because the challenge number 5 includes 100 plus skills to acquire, which we do not have normally. What are those skills? Those skills can be segregated. Let me tell you, you can take some note on that. Number 1 is that most of us, we don't know how to draw technical drawing. That is challenge number 1. The challenge number 2 is we don't know the planning methodology or the design methodology. Okay, the process of designing, how to approach a problem and take it towards the solution, a nice design, a nice outcome, how this design evolution happens. Those are not known to us. Number 3 is that we are not that much aware of materials. Interior design or architecture, it is very, very important to be very much aware of the current material, the traditional material as well as the contemporary materials, the modern materials, the different kinds of utilities, usage of different kinds of materials, and all those things. The 4th challenge in this category is the technology. We don't have that technology, how to work, because nowadays the manual drawing and everything has been completely obsolete. Every communication, every coordination has to be digital. So to do this digital communication, you need to have knowledge about the technologies, the new softwares and new things, how you can work and how you can collaborate. You can work in a cloud environment, how you can collaborate with other people, how you can share your design, how you can get it approved, how you can take it to the next level, to the execution level, the latest technologies, etc. Okay, and the fifth challenge within this category is the budgeting skill. You may not have the proper budgeting skill unless and otherwise you don't know detailing of your design, you don't know about materials, you don't know about the methodologies. These three things actually gives you the actual budgeting skill and the mathematical calculations and all. It is not that you have to be a mathematician to budget, because see, every housewife, they do a very nice, perfect, successful budget for their family, running their family. Like this has to go to the milkman, this portion has to go to for the daily vegetable markets, this has to be kept for this monthly EMI installments. Similarly, the budgeting skill is very, very important, which we normally being a student and without any interior design or design knowledge, we lack in that area, right? The next biggest challenge in this category is managing clients. Even if you are very good at your design, even if you are technologically sound, technically strong, even if your budgeting skill is nice, but if you are unable to have the people skill to manage people, like you have to manage the client, you have to manage your vendors, you have to manage your suppliers, you have to manage your laborers, your suppliers, everybody you have to manage. You have to manage your employees. So if you fail to manage people, then that is a challenge for you. So you have to learn these skills also, how to manage people, okay, with proper logic, with proper behavior, with proper attitude, with proper communication and languages, everything, okay. And the next challenge in this same category is managing project itself. Once you are good at your drawing, you are good at your presentation, you are good at your managing the people, you are good in budgeting, you know now how to, what are the materials to use, where to use, how to use in a unique way, the aesthetics, beauty, everything you know. But if you do not know that how to manage the entire project within a fixed time, budget and quality and with a specific scope, then that is the biggest challenge, and most of the people fails into that area, most of the designer fail into that area. So you have to have the skill of managing the entire project, that is project planning and management, okay. So far I have discussed about 5 major challenges to become an interior designer or for one interior designer, and the biggest challenge now I am going to tell you, that is the money problem, okay. Now most of the people, we are aspiring from our very beginning, from our childhood, we want to become designer, but we may not be having such kind of money which needs to be invested for our career, to plan our career. And that is the biggest challenge for us, that is the economic challenge, that either we are mentally, or we don't have that belief that we will invest that much money for our development, or we do not have that money. So there are 2 ways now to solve all these 6 challenges. You have to be aware of the industry. So the solution to this all 6 challenges, I can tell you, number 1, change your belief. Write down your belief every day, change it into a positive belief. I can become a designer, I can design, I can draw, I can be successful, I can earn so much of money, kind of positive phrases you prepare and change your belief. Always think about that, write it on a paper, put it in front of you. That is the first challenge you can overcome. Like that you can change your self-belief by yourself only, nobody can change your belief. The second is the educational qualification or the academic. I would like to suggest you, don't wait for your masters to complete, PhD to complete, graduation to complete. Start early. You were drawing when you were in class 6, you are in class 7, class 8. And now the CBSE schools, they have already included this interior design, fashion design, all this design field from class 6 onwards in their syllabus. So I would also like to suggest you to overcome the second challenge, that after finishing your graduation you start finding out that what can be done in the interior design field or design field. Better if you can prepare yourself from the early age, and there is a possibility, even if you can decide early, you can become an earning member out of your design and creativity for your family at an early stage. Even you can start earning at the age of 17 or 18, okay. Good. The third challenge, the solution for the third challenge is that, as I have mentioned, you have to have a clear goal. You have to write it down, and you may have multiple goals, and according to those goals you have to create your daily schedule, follow that schedule, and work towards that schedule. Do some hard work practices. Okay. The challenge number 4 was that you don't have any step-by-step guide. Here I can help you, maybe. Here also I can help you, because I have written that book, the 10-step guide to become an interior designer, which is available in Amazon. It's a best-selling Amazon book, Zero Investment Business. So here you do not have to invest anything on that. You just need to purchase that book, and you can go through all the chapters. Step-by-step guide is there, how you can become an interior designer. Okay. The fifth challenge was that acquiring 100 plus skills. And solution to your sixth challenge, you can easily go through the step-by-step guide, and you can easily attend some free seminars on this design field, right? To conclude this video, let me just tell you 3 more tips, or you can say 3 more secrets of this design industry once more. The number 1, that you have to be aware about the paradigm shift of this design industry. What is that paradigm shift? What is that change after this pandemic, or maybe with the ages? The changes is the technology, changes is the digitization and the online thing, and we call it gig economy. The economy has been changed for design freelancer as well. Now the second secret is that the non-traditional method of learning. In my case, you can learn in a non-traditional method without learning engineering drawing using set, square, T and scale. You can unleash your creativity in your interior design by using simple softwares, by using simple school level graph with a pen and paper and a pencil or sketchbook, or maybe with some colors, right? And that secret number 3 is that there are plenty of opportunities in the market. We call it multiple income stream. Nowadays it is very difficult if you opt for only one income stream, like I want to become a offline designer, I want to do some internship, then I will go for a job, and then I will go into a senior level. That is one income stream, 9 to 5. But nowadays there are a lot of digital platform and gig economy is there, where you can start earning multifold. Okay, so know all this thing. Please like my video and subscribe and share it to as many as people you can. And this was Shomali G. Sinha, architect, author and entrepreneur, and working in a mission to transform 10,000 creative people's mind from their passion to their profession. And hope you like this video. Thank you very much. Thank you.